As far as the inspection in loco is concerned, my lord, we have let evidence on aerial photos. There was no cross-examination on that. We really don't see what purpose will the inspection in loco serve if no issue was joined with the aerial photo or aerial photos. I mean, serve the same purpose as an inspection in loco. I mean, we saw the area concerned. But yeah, if the defense still insists on an inspection in loco, we're told that this will be a logistical nightmare and a great security risk, my lord. We would have seen from the aerial photos that there is a hostel across the police station. We informed that basically that hostel need to be evacuated in total, and security measures put in place there at that particular hostel. It will therefore, my lords, be a Herculean task to arrange an inspection in loco. It should be the last resort, my lord. Hence, we presented evidence on aerial photographs.
How many soldiers do you need?
He was at the peak of his career. Who did not like that?
Is this just...
I'll say it was a hit. Way is the
Guys,
mastermind.
yo, I wonder if gaslighting was a person. Okay, if gaslighting was a person, it is definitely Advocate Baloyi. So uyabona lana, the state is cruising nicely. You know why? Because they don't have to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. It is the defense who's supposed to do so. Because why? Why I'm saying that is because Advocate Baloyi would not say if the defense insists. Why is the defense insisting on proving, their point beyond reasonable doubt, and the state is just cruising nicely? Why would the defense want inspection in loco? I get inspection in loco. It's a physical visit to the alleged crime. I get the place where accused one, Moses Biya, says he was taken, secluded, and allegedly assaulted by police. But why does it matter? Okay, why does the hesitation from Baloyi and Kininda? What is the state afraid of? Why was it so easy in Jocelyn's case but not in Senzo Meyiwa's case? The last why is why Advocate Nisi isn't buying the logistical nightmare that Advocate Baloyi is talking about. And finally, I said this is the last why the judge had no choice but to grant the inspection in loco. Let's unpack this drama, the resistance, the court firework. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Great Awakening, where the truth is awakened and the smoke of courtroom drama never clears without our inspection in loco. I am Mrs. Independent, aka I am not a lawyer, okay? Today we zoom into something the state doesn't want to see clearly, the inspection in loco. So members of the Court of Public Opinion, please watch this video till the end. Do not skip out in any part, because there is a clip waiting for you towards the end of this video of Jocelyn's case where they went for inspection in loco. It shows you exactly what's happening. It shows you what it reveals. Like, it gives you the emotion, it gives you the picture. You don't have to speculate or imagine. Okay, so stay tuned and remember to watch the ads, because you are my you are my boss. You are financially supporting this channel. Okay, and let's find out, why does it feel like Advocate Baloyi and Brigadier Gininda are dodging the crime scene like it's a radioactive? Okay. The reason why Advocate Mnisi boldly as ever demanded the court physical visit to the alleged crime scene, it is because context matters. The scene is evidence. A Google map screenshot won't show you hidden corners, the slope of the land, the line of sight, or whether someone could truly have been dragged, assaulted, or maybe shot where they claim. That's the core of Advocate Mnisi's request. Simple. Let the court walk where the blood was shed, where the tears were shed. Okay. You heard from the beginning of the clip Advocate Baloyi's reluctance and resistance, and the pushback backup from Gininda. So Advocate Baloyi's argument is logistics are not possible. They are near the hostel where they would need to evacuate the whole hostel, security concerns, and aerial view from Google Map is enough. Enough. I mean, that's the question, honestly. Enough. You are prosecuting a murder trial, and an aerial image is enough. But wait, it gets better. Brigadier Gininda, who is not a security expert in this instance, suddenly turned into one and echoed Baloyi's concerns. So you remember earlier on when I asked Uguti, why was it easier for Jocelyn Smith case to happen and difficult on this? These are two high profile cases, okay? Both involved serious crime. Both shocked the nation. Jocelyn Smith include a kidnapped child. Senzo Meyiwa, it's a murdered football star. Now listen closely. In Jocelyn's case, the judge and the prosecutor agreed without hesitation to an inspection in loco. But in Senzo Meyiwa's case, Advocate Mnisi had to practically wrestle permission from the judge. Advocate Baloyi and Brigadier Gininda put up a wall after wall after wall. It is too dangerous. It is costly. Google Maps are enough, like I've already said. And why was it so simple in Jocelyn's case? Because everyone, prosecution and defense, wanted clarity. They wanted to see if the environment matches the allegation. You know, that is the most important thing. They wanted to see if the environment matches the allegation. That's what justice demands. Justice demands context, proximity, physical layout, line of sight, noise levels, time and movement. It makes the story real, or it exposes a lie, for that matter. In the Senzo Meyiwa's case, someone doesn't want that. Let's call it what it is. In Jocelyn's case, there are no high-profile figures being protected. Allegedly. There is no complicated stories built over the years, but in Senzo Meyiwa's case, there's a tangled web of conflicting statements and phone records, DNA exclusion issues, confessions under fire, and eyewitnesses that the investigator conveniently overlooked. I really understand Advocate Mnisi not buying that story of, where the aerial view is... Aerial view, it gives a good sense of location, because he's saying, he said it outright actually, I would still need to use my imagination, and the court will still need to use their imagination. So why not walk the location, the surrounding? That's not good enough in a case, honestly. A case that involves torture allegations and possible human rights violation. You don't imagine a crime scene, you go to it, you verify it, Okay, and Advocate Mshololo echoed the same concerns. If you remember, she called that area an alleged crime scene, and by definition, crime scene must be physically examined, not virtually. Note that. Okay, so why the hesitation from Advocate Baloyi and Brigadier Keninda? That's the real question. Could it be that a physical inspection might expose inconsistency in the state narrative? Might it cast doubt on the police version of events, or is it just a matter of avoiding delays? We can't speculate, but we can observe this. When a court is asked to verify a crime scene and the prosecution resisted, red flags, not one, red flags goes up boom, immediately. and the judge seemed open to the idea, and he finally called for determination for transparency, and the court accept that Google Earth version is not justice. And why should the Court of Public Opinion members care? You should care, because the inspection could decide if Sibiya confessions stand out or false, changing the whole trial. If the site is as secluded as he says, it begs his story of police assault, and that's a big win for the defense. But it's bigger than that. The trial has been a mess for 10 years, no justice. Judge is fed up with the delays. The public is losing faith, saying justice delayed is justice denied. The physical inspections show the court's seriousness about getting it right, not just rushing to convict. Mnisi and Mshololo fought for a fair trial, while Baloyi want to keep this moving. Who's got the truth? This is why we watch the system on trial as much as the accused, and an inspection could expose the cracks. Now let's take a listen to Advocate Mnisi telling it like it is. And if you're still here, drop a like, okay? Drop a heart emoji, a fire emoji. Let's take a listen.
It's really actually a shame that this is now being introduced to the court. Because the state, Mr. Baloyi himself, not actually the state, Mr. Baloyi himself said that those aerial photos are not a substitute to the holding of the inspection. Now he comes with all this rhetoric that he's coming up with. And that was a court order. So now he says he does not see a reason why inspection in loco must be held because of logistical nightmares. South Africa is not a Mickey Mouse country, my lord. It has got all the facilities. Unless Mr. Baloyi sees South Africa and administration in South Africa is a Mickey Mouse administration. And I will never say that, my lord. There is no reason, I'm still talking.
Yes,
There's no reason why, my lord. There's no reason why there should be an evacuation of the entire hostel. Who said that the whole hostel must be evacuated? Brigadier Keninda himself said the hostel is not in the immediate vicinity of the police station. I'm not inclined to believe what Mr. Baloyi is saying unless there's an affidavit that is presented to court that says that for the holding of the inspection in loco, the whole of the hostel must be evacuated. And why should then only the hostel be evacuated and not all the other areas that are adjacent to that police station where this inspection in loco must be held?
Advocate Baloyi was shut down like that by Advocate Mnisi saying, I'm still talking, and rightfully so, he was still talking. But honestly, the court needs to see this spot to know if Sibiya is telling the truth. By not going there, how would they really know if he's telling the truth or he's lying? Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you feel like the truth is tingling in your gut, like, comment, and subscribe, because we are not afraid of the truth, are we? So here is the video of the walkabout or the local inspection that was held for Jocelyn's case. you'll get the feel, you'll get what Advocate Baloyi is fighting for. Let's take a look.
Including sea search, and we are currently now standing. We are not sure exactly why we are here, but the home that we had showed you not too long ago was that of Phumza Sigaka, who was one of the first 4 people that were arrested, or suspects that were arrested on this day, the 6th of March 2024, in connection with the disappearance of Jocelyn Smith. There's a ditch.
Standing next to the rocks, if we could see the car. So let's go further, because the photographers, can we just move to the left, please, so that we can see? I'm sorry, I didn't know they were going to film that. So from where I'm standing now, I can see a Taro.
That's where all our vehicles
That's where the red car is. I can see my vehicle, and I know it's right next to the Taro. There's a blue house and 2 other houses in front. I don't know whether they were there.
Show the dance with
And clearly you can see from this clip the emotions that are being evoked when Kelly Smith sees this woman standing there. That's where she started to cry. So this is the effect that inspection in loco would have, will give an indication, clear indication of what happened. She is crying after looking at that woman.